I'm on the Your Creation page, and I have the Create Categories screen open, and I want to create categories, obviously. The boxes that we have here indicate that I've already configured my settings and I'm ready to go. However, you may not see that. If you're on this page and you don't see these boxes indicating that level 1, 2 and 3 and so on, and that they are waiting, then you need to configure your categories, and you do that on the Your Projects page, and that's obviously what this video is about. So I'll walk you through that. Click on Your Projects, then click on the click on the Categories tab to open the Categories screen. And the first panel that we have in the Categories screen is Set Default Category. The default category set here applies to posts created in CSV to post only. It does not change the default that would be applied when creating posts manually, and we all know that default is uncategorized. And this default value here allows us to ensure that should any post not be assigned to a category for whatever reason, it will be assigned to this default, and we can pick up those posts from there and deal with them accordingly. I'm not going to submit that setting or talk about it all day. It's quite simple. That's that, straightforward, done. Now the next panel is Set Standard Categories. This panel is available in both paid and free edition, but the difference between the both is that the paid edition allows the extra 4th and 5th levels. They're rarely required, and most users will require 3, so we do provide the average demand for categories in the free edition. Now my sample here has category 1, category 2, child cat 3. Those are the names of the headers in my CSV file, and then I imported the CSV file and they become the column names in a database table. And they can be named anything you like. You do not need to copy me, so you do not need to edit your CSV file to have these header names as your category header names. Alright. Now, actually, I should mention that right across the board, CSV to post accepts any header names, but you should not add special characters, and try to keep them as simple as possible. Now the next feature is, the next little setting here is apply last categories to posts, or apply all categories to posts. If I went with all categories to posts, each of my posts would have 3 categories, and that would be reflected in the admin, and more importantly reflected on the front end where users see in terms of your theme. Alright, so we have to decide whether or not we want our post to show in multiple categories or just one, and that would be the last one usually, and in my case it would be child cat 3 categories. Alright, now I will submit this form even though all it will do is submit the settings I've already saved. So there it is, submitting standard category settings saved. Alright, the plugin does not create anything at this point. It's important to know that creation is done on the Your Creation page, and it is also very important that all project configuration on all of these tabs here is complete before you move to Your Creation. Some settings on one tab may affect settings on another tab, and the plugin needs to take everything into consideration when it's creating things. Alright, I won't go into specifics and scenarios on which settings affect which, but it is important to know that we've laid it out so that we go through each thing one step at a time without skipping anything, as a lot of users tend to do. I mean, we all like to get stuck in, don't we? We just click about and go around the place. So we try and guide people and tell them, you know, let's do it one step at a time. Go through all of these tabs and make sure you've configured everything you're going to need to. Now, the next thing I want to show you is the panel that's applicable to the paid edition. It begins exactly like the panel we've just been looking at. It uses the exact same stored settings. Should you be a developer interested in hacking, you could hack this panel and start off simple and build it up, which is exactly what we've done, which is great. That's one of the great things about our approach, because we do want to support hacking, and all we done is upgraded the panel, copied it and upgraded it to provide category descriptions. And these category descriptions can be created using a template, a content template, or existing descriptions in our data, which I don't have in my sample data, so I just select item description or product name and so on. As for the content template, that's done on the WYSIWYG editor, and that is done in the content tab there. I'm not going to click on there or go into there because other videos will show that, but that's where you go if that is the way that you want to do this, and that is the method you want to create your unique category descriptions. Alright, and that's that. Again, I'm not going to save this panel because it just saves the settings, and they're already saved as I've mentioned. The next panel is Set Category Map. Set Category Map begins with a list of all the unique values, the distinct values I should say, from the columns that we've selected above. So when I've selected my 3 category columns and submitted, the plugin generates this page with these unique values. So this is my actual data down here on the left. Alright, and what we can do is we can map the values to existing categories. So if I want all my posts with Scotland to go into test 2, I would select test 2 there. Let's put England in test 3 and America in test 4, and that's exactly what would happen. All the posts with Scotland would go in test 2, England test 3, America test 4, and the important thing that this emphasises is that these terms on the left look nothing like the ones on the right. They don't have to have any similarity at all. I will leave it to you to consider the scenarios possible when trying to map data and trying to map your posts into categories when you may not have a sufficient category data, but you may have a lot of other data. You may be able to figure something out in there. It's a rarely used feature, so I will mention right now that I probably won't make a video on it until requested. So if you find that you need to use this and you're a little stuck or confused, or you're just not sure if you need to use it, then feel free to ask for the video. That's that. So we've configured everything, and we'll pretend right now that I've gone through all of these tabs, and we'll come back to your creation and click on create categories, and I'm going to create my first level of categories. Actually, let's cancel that and I'll just quickly show you my category screen. So there we go, we just have the test ones. Lots of test categories through making the video multiple times. Total perfectionist. Right, click submit. There we go, we've created level 1, a total of 3 categories created, and I would like to create 2 levels, and I would like to create my 3rd level. Now you may wonder why we do it a level at a time. Between each level we can go and check the categories, physically check them, make sure they've been created. If any issues do arise, it's a lot easier to pinpoint the specific data causing it. Because we've narrowed it down to a specific level of data straight away, and some other things that I won't go into. So I actually done that recently. That was February, which it is now, and that is February 2013. And I thought, let's get this video made for this new feature before people get confused. I wonder what the heck is going on. Now, so that's all my categories created. I'm just going to click on categories and show you. I'm actually going to show you something very important. All my categories have been created. I can assure you they're all in the blog. However, not all of them show in this list here. If I select the parent menu over here, we can see that America, New York, hotels, motels, Washington, hotels, but that doesn't show on the left here. Now the reason being is this some sort of WordPress cache thing, and this generates a lot of support requests, because obviously people think that the plugin doesn't work, and I know for a fact someone's contacted me on this issue and rated the plugin 1 star on WordPress because of this issue, when all it is a sort of cache thing. So if I put test and add a category, then click categories, it displays the ones that are hidden. Alright, Nothing's broken, they work just normal, and so on. So that's it. This is really that simple. So really we're done there, and all the categories are created, and we're ready to create posts. But what I want to show you is the undo feature. Should you not be happy with the categories that are created and you want to change your configuration, then remake them. Come to the undo creations on the your creation page, come down to undo categories on your current project, and click delete categories. Right, so I've done that, and I'll go to posts, categories, and prove to you that they were all deleted. And when we come back to your creation and click create categories, everything has been reset also, so we can easily remake. And that's what this plugin is about. It's not just getting the job done the first time, it's allowing you to play around and do it multiple times in the aim of perfection, and obviously correcting possible mistakes and so on. And that's that. Okay, so thank you very much for watching.